Okay, guys, we are back and with a frauditor, but a frauditor in court. And not only a frauditor in court, he's kind of like a sovereign citizen frauditor hybrid. But this is going to be his bond hearing from February 11th that he just released 4 days ago. Now, this is J-Dub Audit. You know, disclaimer, warning, don't go harass him on my behalf. I'm doing just fine over there. I think Unclean Hands did a video on him, so I went over there. I believe on this video. We're covering this video. If I get enough views, I'll live stream this one, which is his preliminary hearing that shows his actual arrest, but kind of in pieces because it's in court. But yeah, it turns out he was trying to record in a courtroom, which is a no-go, even in South Carolina. But that's what he's doing. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. It's a weird one. It's a weird one of him just crying.
Good morning.
All right. 134.
All right, now I can hear you. All right. Good morning, Mr. Washburn. I'm Judge Anderson. We're here for a bond hearing this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to advise you that you have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that, right?
I understand that.
All right. So, Mr. Washburn, I have here in the courtroom, I'm going to try and turn this camera a little bit. You see, I've got Lieutenant Matt Davis.
Matthew Davis.
And I also have Brian Johnson with Baltimore County Sheriff's Department here as well. Those are the two individuals on my side, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Washburn, we're going to go through our packet of paperwork. Again, remember you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
This goes both ways. Yes, ma'am.
The first page that you have is a waiver of right to in-person court appearance and consent to video audio conferencing. So what we're doing right now is a video conference. Do you agree to have your hearing done in this manner?
I will agree to this. Yes.
Okay. Secondly, you do have the right to have an attorney present. Understand that this is a bond hearing. I'm not here to discuss guilt or innocence or facts on the case. I'm here simply to make a determination for bond. You do have that right to have an attorney. Do you wish to have an attorney present at this bond hearing?
I am fine right now.
All right. If you could sign both places, I have an X mark on the lower left of the form, please. All right, at the top left of the next page, we have your charges listed. We've got warrants 2025 A06 104 00015, breach of peace, aggravated in nature. Warrant 2025 A06 104 00016, resisting arrest, oppose or resist law enforcement officer serving process or making arrest. Warrant 2025 A06 104 00017 and 18, both being for malicious injury to personal property value $2,000 or less, and that is on both of those last two warrant numbers.
Okay.
Mr. Washburn, with these charges, understand you do have a right and obligation to be present at trial, and should you fail to attend the court, it will proceed in your absence, and if you fail to attend as required, a warrant for your arrest will be issued. You do have the right to a preliminary hearing, the right to a trial by jury, and the right to counsel and court-appointed counsel if you're financially unable to employ counsel. Do you understand those rights?
I understand them, and yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
All right, if you would initial beside number 2, 3, 4, and 5, please. All right, 5 continues on the next page, B being your right to counsel and court-appointed counsel. C gives you information on how to apply for a public defender. So if you're interested in an attorney and feel you can't afford one.
It is a constitutional right to have counsel appointed. There is no, it does not say application on the Constitution per the 6th and 14th Amendments. I will be getting appointed counsel per the courts.
Okay, Mr. Washburn, I'm not here to discuss law. I'm here
Article
to give you
6,
the
Clause 2 and
information.
3, Your Honor. Article 6, Clause 2 and 3, Your Honor. You're supposed to uphold my constitutional
Right.
rights. That's the
Washburn.
supremacy clause.
I just want to point out that frauditors and sovereign citizens both do this, where they hate the Constitution and they hate the government until it can somehow benefit them, and then they are best friends with the Constitution and best friends with the government.
We are giving you the information on how to apply for a public defender, and that is at the Baltimore Magistrate Court.
Okay.
Address and phone number listed there, and there's a $40 filing fee. Number 7 states if the charges that are brought against you are discharged, dismissed, or null prossed, or you are found not guilty, you may have your record expunged. And number 8 is that you're required to keep the court notified of any changes of address until the final disposition of the charges. If you understand, if you'll sign at the X mark at the lower left, or middle left, rather. Your next form is information regarding your rights. It has your charges listed at the top, and it states that you have been charged with a criminal offense. If you are found guilty, you may be subject to penalties that could include a fine and/or jail time. Depending on the circumstances and the specific offense, you may be subject to additional consequences, including but not limited to increased penalties for later convictions, loss of your driver's license, or the loss of your right to possess firearms and/or ammunition. If you are not a citizen of the United States, your immigration status will be affected. If you are currently on probation or parole, it may be revoked. You have several constitutional rights, and some of these rights can be waived or forfeited, so it is important that you know and understand them in order to preserve them.
I will not be waiving any, and I'll let that be known in this.
You
And I
have the
would
right to
like-
representation by an attorney. You may hire an attorney, or if you cannot afford an attorney, you may be eligible to have one appointed to represent you at no cost to you. If you would like an attorney appointed, you must be screened by the court to see if you qualify. It is your
Simmons versus United
obligation to be
States.
screened at the location identified in paragraph 5C of the bond checklist form that you received here today. If you do not hire an attorney or get screened for a court-appointed attorney, you may be found to have waived your right to representation.
I won't.
You do have the right to represent yourself. However, you should be aware of the dangers of self-representation. Criminal defense is a complex and specialized field of law, and there may be specific factual, legal, or procedural issues relevant to your charges that you may not be aware of. If you exercise your right to proceed without an attorney, then you are responsible for complying with all applicable rules of court, including rules of evidence, procedure, and proper courtroom behavior. If you are convicted on the charges filed against you, in order to pay a fine, you may request a reasonable scheduled payment plan to pay the fine, and you are responsible for keeping track of your trial date and obtaining the services of an attorney before it, either by hiring one or getting screened and having one appointed. If you do not appear at trial with your attorney, you may be found to have waived your right to representation. And you must keep the court informed of any updated addresses until the completion of the case. If you understand, if you'll sign at the X mark. Our next form is your mandatory court appearance. Your charges again are listed there. This is the only notice that you'll receive, so make sure you keep a copy for your records. You are a defendant in a criminal case and required to appear at the Barnwell County Courthouse, 141 Main Street in Barnwell. Dates and times of these appearances cannot be changed for any reason. Your initial appearance is set for April the 28th, 2025 at 10 a.m. in the main courtroom. Failure to appear will result in your arrest. You must be present at this appearance. If you fail to appear on this date and time, a bench warrant will be issued for your arrest. You will be placed in jail and may be held until the trial of your case. Failure to obtain an attorney may result in your bond being revoked, being held in contempt of court, fines, and/or jail. If you understand, if you'll sign at the lower left at the X mark.
Yep.
Your next form is your notice of a right to a preliminary hearing. Your charges are listed at the top, and it states that you are charged with the above named offenses, and you may be entitled to a preliminary hearing. You must request a preliminary hearing within 10 days of this notice or lose your right to such a hearing. You can request the hearing by completing the lower left section of this notice and returning it to the court listed below, either in person or by mailing it to the following address, and that is the Second Judicial Circuit Solicitor's Office. Mr. Washburn, if you would like to go ahead and fill that out today, I can send it over to the solicitor for you, or you can wait and do it at a later date. How would you like to proceed?
I'm going to fill it out now, Your Honor.
All right.
All right, now all the procedural nonsense is out of the way. We're done signing paperwork. This is the bond hearing after all. So now is the part where he's going to cry. There is about 8 minutes left of the video, and he's going to begin crying shortly after I hit play.
So, Mr. Washburn, we're at the time now where I'm going to be making a determination for bond. I'm going to allow the Sheriff's Department to present any information they feel necessary for me to make a determination. Once they have finished, I'll give you the opportunity to speak on your behalf, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. Mr. Washburn, defendant, has quite a lengthy criminal history, but more concerning pertaining to this incident and multiple other incidents in Barnwell County. Every time that Mr. Washburn encounters law enforcement and has been arrested or attempted to be arrested in this county by law enforcement, whether it be the sheriff's office or local police
I
department.
object, Your Honor. Are we arguing facts of the case? Because we're talking facts here, and if he's going to argue facts, I will argue facts too, that I was unlawfully arrested while exercising my constitutional rights.
He is presenting information necessary for the court to make a determination.
I object because there's only 3 convictions on my record. Why don't we stick with the convictions? Because those are actual and can be used in court, not the potential or the ones that have been dismissed already.
All right. Your objection is overruled at this time. I'm going to allow him to present the information necessary for the
I
court to
thought-
make a determination.
Yes, ma'am.
Concerning this incident and other incidents that he is currently out on bond for, he has multiple charges of resisting arrest. Law enforcement has to continue to fight with Mr. Washburn. He is a danger to himself. He is a danger to other law enforcement. And given the totality of these charges he's also out on bond for, the state is requesting a no bond for Mr. Washburn. If you're not inclined to a no bond, the state is requesting that a cash bond be set from Mr. Washburn.
No bond, huh?
Mr. Washburn, I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak on your behalf at this time, okay?
All right, did you swear an oath to the Constitution there, sir?
Mr. Washburn, we're not asking questions.
Article 6, Clause 2 and 3, you're supposed to uphold constitutional rights. And this man just sit there and tried to have a no bond placed on me, and I have not affected not one soul. I was in the commencement of exercising constitutional rights, First Amendment. I am an independent investigative journalist. I was arrested yesterday for doing exactly that, filming in public, filming inside the court. Article 1, Section 9 of the South Carolina Constitution there, sir, states that all courts are to be made public, and a speedy remedy shall be in place for those that are violated. You tried to close the door. That's an open court. I am in here unlawfully.
So I'm going to point out that this guy's a jackass and a fake journalist. We're going to begin with something that I found hilarious because this is where real journalists go. This is the South Carolina Press Association, where they break it down the entire camera positions, the coming and goings that photographers and reporters can be held in contempt of court, what to do during family court, jury and jury selection when juveniles are there, where to place lightings, yada yada. It also says right here, which I don't think this guy wanted to read, smartphones for recording. Using a smartphone to record audio and or take video or photographs may be permitted by the judge with advance permission, which means you have to ask the judge. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this part right here where it says set of rules. You can click on that and it brings up, let's do it this way, South Carolina Court Rule 605, and it's about broadcasting, televising, recording, or photographing court proceedings. And yeah, I'll let you guys, I'll let you put this link in the description because obviously it's way too much to read. But I'm going to break it down for you real quick. So it's about, it's not permitted in the courtroom or the adjacent areas to the courtroom during sessions or recesses without prior approval. Seeing as how I doubt this dipshit got prior approval, yeah, you were legally arrested. No matter how many times you want to cry in front of the judge, you were legally arrested.
You guys have violated your constitutional oaths on several times. This is the South Carolina Constitution right here, right in your face, that all courts are to be made public. Why was I arrested in open court? For nothing. Trying to attend my court hearing while filming. I did not resist arrest, and there are several witnesses to this. Not only that, it was being live streamed. Your officer there, sir, pushed me. He initiated violence against me for the exercise of my constitutional rights. USC 12203 states, anybody that threatens, intimidates, or coerces one in the exercise of their rights is in violation of the law, sir. So a no bond is unconstitutional. The constitutional bond would be a PR bond, being the nature of the crime, because there is no crime, there is no third party. I did not injure anybody. I did not resist like you said I did. It's all on film, sir. You've lied on affidavits. It was live streamed.
You know me, I hate to do this to him, but in the video, because I did ultimately watch about a quarter of his preliminary hearing that he posted, yeah, the officer pushed him out of the doorway so that they could close the door because he wasn't coming in accordance with what the judge wanted, and he kept trying to pull the door open and then tried to fight with all the officers. So, yeah, you resisted, bud.
You've lied on affidavits, once again.
Mr. Washburn, anything else you think I need to know before I make a determination for bond?
I am currently in school for psychology, getting ready to graduate in the near future. I study law. I am an independent investigative journalist known as J-Dub Audits, 6 Semper Tyrannis on YouTube. What I do is I go around and I gather information, public information, through the Freedom of Information Act, which I did on Halloween, and I was arrested unlawfully on Halloween, Your Honor. That's all I was doing, a Freedom of Information Act request, and was arrested. This is unlawful and unconstitutional. It's an abuse of power. It's an abuse of all of the funds that go towards paying these people. Housing me for doing nothing but exercising rights is unlawful and unconstitutional, ma'am. And I would like a copy of this sent to my email, Joshua Washburn at
You need
students,
to put that request in writing to me, Mr. Washburn.
and I will, but I'm saying it in open court too. Yes,
It
ma'am.
has to be in writing to the court, okay?
Yes, ma'am. But I have been, this has happened in Berkeley County in December, everybody. Berkeley County just went through this, okay? They arrested a journalist trying to enter into the courtroom, and they immediately released
Mr.
him. till they
Washburn, we're
did-
getting beyond the aspect of a bond hearing. You're talking about events that
ma'am.
aren't relevant to this. I would like to stick to what we're here for, please.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, well, I am an effective member of society. I do not go around, like they say, and harass police. I do go exercise my constitutional rights. I do this. Now, when their feelings get hurt because I'm exercising my constitutional rights, that's not on me. I am not going out there to provoke any actions from these officers. They have got their feelings hurt and have retaliated against me. Okay? This is it. As simple as that. Okay?
Okay, again, Mr. Washburn, I'm not here to determine guilt or innocence. I'm here to
I
set
know.
bond.
They're telling you that I'm going around harassing officers, and I'm not. It's all on camera. You can see it on YouTube.
And
okay?
that'll be for the day in court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
so
I
anything
just don't
further?
like,
Mr.
I
Washburn?
just don't like these lies and these accusations thrown against me, because I've only been convicted of 3 things, and that would be the cultivation of cannabis, which is nonviolent, and disorderly conduct 2 times, nonviolent.
All right, this is my last cut in before the end of the video, so bear with me for a second. So I'm going to finish my psychology degree sometime in the near future. I'm telling you right now, I'm 1 credit away from a degree in Homeland Security. I could technically graduate in the near future. I have no plans on finishing that degree as of right this second. So him saying that means absolutely nothing to me, you, him, or the court. Second, he said nonviolent this, nonviolent this, nonviolent that. I'm going to spoil this for you. He's currently out on bond for resisting arrest, and then just got arrested for resisting arrest. So nonviolent, 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 followed up with violent and violent. So that's only going to hurt you. And third, the cherry on top. Oh, well, this city just arrested a journalist and let him go with no charges. Okay. And the Georgia Supreme Court just told Rogue Nation to go fuck himself. So it can go either way, but it leans more in my favor because you guys rarely get off of these charges. Most times you're charged, convicted, and that conviction's held up. So him trying to, I don't know, I don't want to say it's a threat, but like, oh, well, that happened over there. You don't want that to happen here. They don't care about you. They're not scared of you. Go fuck yourself.
I'm not a violent individual, and my record proves that.
Okay. So, Mr. Washburn, you are currently out on bond
Yes, ma'am.
for resisting arrest.
It's
You have been charged with resisting arrest in this instance. So I've got a resisting arrest, breach of peace, aggravated in nature, and 2 malicious injury to property. All right.
I was injured myself during that time too, Your Honor.
Okay.
I
Mr.
bruised up
Washburn, at this time, I'm going to set a cash bond of $14,000. That is a
$14,000.
cash only bond.
cash only.
Yes,
So,
sir.
What does that mean?
It means you have to pay cash for it.
$14,000.
Yes, sir. Your
That's-
court
that-
date
that-
is
that's
listed on bail proceeding
That is
form.
not a reasonable bond. That is not a reasonable bond, Your
That
Honor.
court date is April the 28th, 2025
That
at
is not a
10
reasonable bond, Your
10
Honor. You are
a.m.
violating.
Mr. Washburn, your court date is
violating your
April
oath.
28th at 10 a.m. in general sessions. The
You are
address. and phone
violating your
number
oath of
listed
office,
there.
Your Honor.
Do you have anything further?
This is retaliatory. And it
Mr.
will be
Washburn,
proved.
bond has been set. Do you have anything further?
I'll be sentenced. I'll be getting you done too, man. You're going to the ethics board, Your Honor. I got to do it.
Yes, sir. Mr. Johnson.
Ethics board. And you guys are gone. Violating your oath of office. Clause 2 and 3, bud.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Quit selling meth there, Matt Griffin, or whatever your name is. Quit selling meth.
Mr. Washburn, so we can finish this up. Can you provide me with your correct mailing address?
When I what? When I get out?
Anywhere that court notifications can be sent.
Yeah, I'll take care of you. But look, the
What
$14,000,
is that
that,
address?
huh?
What is that address, Mr. Washburn, so I can fill it out?
2410 Cane Ranch Road.
2410 Cane Branch Road. How about a phone number for me?
Don't have one.
No
You can
phone number.
Email.
My form doesn't request an email. It asks for a telephone number. So
Okay.
if you don't have a phone number, I will leave that blank.
Thank
We
you.
have your mailing address to be able to reach you by mail.
And like again, ma'am, like $14,000 cash like that. Well, why is that? I am poor.
Mr.
Indigent.
Washburn, I've included in your packet a copy of the public defender application. If you would like to fill that out, and provide it to the court, you
You're
can do that.
violating
Thank you,
every
sir.
way. Yeah.
Have a
Uh-huh.
good day.
Yeah. You too.
Gonna sign this, rest of this?
So $14,000. So your boy didn't get out until quite recently. The fact that he was crashing out so hard, he accused the prosecutor of selling meth, which is always a good look. And then to threaten the judge, and again, always a good look. So if you guys watched this, liked it, comment, and like I said, if I get a decent viewership of this to make an hour-long court hearing worth it, we'll live stream that for you guys. But yeah, don't go harass this guy. You heard him. He's poor, so don't go harass this guy. His life seems to be in the shitter already. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Peace.